thank you for joining me in another episode of Roro Off to Midnight Ram. And now you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Roro the Tenor. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Filipino Tenor. And also, you can send your 50 cents. People still have not sent me 50 cents. Come on, people. It's 0.50. That's how you send 50 cents to Venmo at Roro the Tenor. And again, I'd like to acknowledge the theme song is written by me and my friend Marcus Chaval and arranged by him. And it is a new theme. It's like it's just my theme. Later on, it'll have like its own music video. So I hope you like it. And down there, you'll see a nightly live stream via Facebook at Roro the Tenor and YouTube. And that will be those are the times when the show is coming in. And so we move on to our joke of the day. Our joke of the day, ladies and gentlemen. What did one flea say to the other flea? Shall we walk or take the dog? I am so funny. Oh my God. Anyway, I'd like to, that joke of the day was generously donated by my husband, Steven. You can follow him on Instagram at Steverino Hunter. And for our Roro's hair of the day, Roro's hair of the day is, bam! Look at that. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was the same thing when you guys were watching like a few days ago. I showed a picture of me in white hair. This was before I started cutting it because it started falling off, you know, all that bleach. It really takes off everything. But anyway, that was the Johnny Bravo look. So thank you. And before I bring in my guest, I'd like to remind everyone, not while we are watching the show, I mean, just in general, wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, and use hand sanitizer if you need to every time you leave your place, even if you're going to the corridors, or the hallways. As long as there's a chance that you're going to be bumping into people, make sure you wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands afterwards. Now, for our show of the day, I like to bring in my guests, but you know what? I always have intro for my guests before. Wait a second. Oh my God, what's going on here? Before they show themselves. Here it is. Enjoy.
Leuchtet der Lenz, auf Linden liebten, leicht und lieblich, wunderwebend sich schwebt.
There he is! Oh my God, look at that magic! It's all magic, y'all. Hey, Brandon, what's going on?
How you doing, Rodell? How are you, buddy?
So people know, where are you right now? Because we are actually probably less than an hour away from each other.
Yeah, that's right. I live just about an hour west of Chicago in a little town called Sycamore, actually right outside of Sycamore in the country. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Not too
nice.
shabby.
So, I know, not too shabby. By the way, you can follow Brandon on Instagram. That's what IG means, by the way, at Opera Brandon. It's so cool that you actually got Opera Brandon. I mean, that's lucky. You're lucky. You know what I mean?
My wife is Opera Kara. My kids are like Opera Jacob, Gabriel. You know, everyone was Opera when I got their emails and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what? That's really cool that you got that, because it's such a, you know, a general kind of way of doing stuff. And the more general it is, the harder it is to get, because somebody would have gotten it. So I'm glad you got that. And you could check out his website at www.brandonjovanovich.com. Now, what's on my list here? Oh, and if you miss that, it'll all be scrolling sideways the whole show. So before we start with our thing, I'd like to Brandon and Roro's Chinese connection. Now, what would that be? So, can you imagine, Brandon? I cannot find the picture of us that we went to that Chinese place. Do
I
you
was
remember
telling my
where
wife about that. I
Where,
think it was in Houston. Was it?
it was in Houston, but were we in the same show?
I was trying to figure out.
You know, okay, these are the shows I did there. I'm trying to see what the show was. Wait, I'm trying to remember. What is that? I was there for Butterfly, but then Joe was singing Butterfly. Joseph Kaleo was singing Butterfly.
Yeah,
and then I was there for Ariadne. Did you share the role with Alexei Dolgov or no? You did not.
No,
So, and then I was there again. I was there for Billy Budd. So you're not there in Billy Budd 2008. And then I don't know, but we went, and of course he drove. But that's how that's the first time we actually had like a one-on-one, like sit down and like, oh, that was good conversation. It was a Chinese place. That's why it's a Chinese connection. It was a Chinese restaurant. That's how it's like, and that's how I knew it's like, oh my God. It's like Brandon. It's like I didn't know because you're already your name was already in very famous in at least in our world in our world of opera, of the big world of opera. So I was like thinking, oh my God, it was like it's like half starstruck, half like humbled by like, oh my God, it's like it's so cool that I'm having lunch with Brandon. So
did you do Rheingold there?
Yes. Wait. Yes.
I think I was doing Don Carlos maybe, or a Carmen at the same time. Maybe it's
Carmen. Yes, it was Carmen with Anna Maria.
That's right. That's
how it is.
Okay.
Oh my God. So that was our Roro connection. Now, just so that everyone know, I mean, everybody Google, if you went to his website, this is just a formality, okay? So it's like, so he sung here in the Met, here at Lyric Opera in Chicago, San Francisco, Houston, Washington, Seattle even. And then also abroad in Verona, Berisha in Lithio is in Barcelona, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then Deutsche Oper in Berlin, Zurich. Look it up. So anyway, just want to give people a chance to you've sung everywhere, pretty much really everywhere, and sung a lot. Now we're gonna go to back in the day. Back in the day. So a little give us a little background about where you're born and raised, about like growing up, just up to a point where you're studying, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm from Montana. I'm from Billings, Montana, born and raised. My parents are both from Montana and stuff like that. And let's see, I had a brother, younger brother, older sister. Everyone still lives there for the most part in Montana, in Billings, really. And we lived there for a little while too, back at a certain point. But let's see, I went to school just normal. I didn't really sing or anything like that as far as like studying in school. I just did choirs. Played football. That was kind of my thing. And that was it. Then I ended up going to school down, and from there I went over to Bismarck, North Dakota. And that's kind of how I got my start at this whole thing. You know what? I used to sit. I better say this, or else my mom, because I was thinking of this. I don't know why it came into my head today. Yeah. I used to sit. My mom would sit at the piano, and she wasn't the best piano player, but she could roll chords, and she loved singing Broadway tunes and Christmas tunes all year long. And I was the only kid that would sit and sing with her. And so I think that's how I got my training. But today I was sitting up in my bedroom and I started singing Born Free. Do you know that? Do you know
yes, Born Free.
As free as the wind blows. And I don't know why. It just came to my mind and I started thinking, I thought, my God, I'm singing Born Free. When's the last time I sang that?
Yeah, so anyway, it's funny. Talk about Born Free. We grew up, because Filipinos love karaoke, and that's that's a karaoke song, Born Free. And Born Free is, and they love basketball, so our version is Born Free as a free throw. I mean, you know what I mean? It's one of those like it's a Filipino humor and stuff. So when you were in school, first of all, you tell us what you I put here in you went to Northern Arizona University
That's
for
right.
music, but not as a music major, as a what? No,
I went
not
down.
not as a voice major, but a what?
Right. Okay. So I went from graduated from high school in Billings, went over and played like a year of football at University of Mary, little tiny college,
Mhm.
and in outside of Bismarck, North Dakota. It was so cold there, 80 below for 3 days. That was with the wind chill, but
I
3 days,
believe.
80 below. It was crazy. So then I said to heck with this. So I ended up going down to Flagstaff, and they gave me a music scholarship, like if they paid for the out of state part of me going
Yeah.
down there. And I did that for a couple of years, but they had this it was sight singing, dictation, and theory classes that were always at about, I think they were at 8 o'clock every Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh yes, I remember those.
Holy cow. And I'm not a good sight singer. I'm not a good
I'm not a good sight
dictation
singer,
person.
though.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just never came natural to me. So I
I
just
think they should.
couldn't get.
I think when you said, "Oh, what voice major? What category?" Tenor. Okay, they're not doing sight singing and dictation.
You could skip
I'm just
that.
saying, every voice category should be exempt from certain classes.
That's it. By God, I second that one. And so so I went there, but then they said, "Well, we can't give you a scholarship." So I went over to the theater department and said, I need a scholarship, and I kind of what audition for them. And so I ended up getting a major in theater performance and a minor in musical performance and vocal
Oh,
performance.
yes. So is that the you were in northern Arizona when you sang Zarastro, correct?
That's right. That's right. Because I
And you were
started
a
off.
bass. So
Yeah,
you were a bass baritone. So you sang bass and bass baritone in choirs the whole time.
the whole time. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, what a lazy tenor. Jeez. Anyway, so
Nothing's changed.
and then after that, one of the things that was on your bio was you did modeling, acting, musical theater, operetta, and opera, in addition to opera. So where was this, and what was the span? What was the timeline of all these things?
Okay, so I graduated from college, and like I went out to LA. I thought I'd make it as an actor. I went out there for about that long,
Ah,
and yeah, just for like, I think it was only maybe not even a full month. And
you were
my
exploring. That's what you were doing,
yeah,
exploring
that's
all
right,
the possibilities. Yeah.
exploring the possibilities. And then my girlfriend is out in New York, and now my wife, and she said, "Listen, I found a place out here. What's going to happen to this? We're going to break up? What?" So I ended up moving out there, and that's where I did the majority. That's where I did everything. Really, I still thought I might be in television and in movies. So I did like tons. I was trying, cater waitering at a whole bunch of places, and just trying my hand at everything. Really, I mean,
So was it when you moved there? Is that when you went to Manhattan School of Music?
yeah, yeah, that was it.
That was
That,
the move.
but
Yeah.
that came later. Like, so I went out there. I did like what NYU, student films. Did a little stint
Mhm.
on Guiding Light. You ever heard of Modell's? Modell. It's like a
I
sporting
have.
goods store.
Yeah, I've
I,
heard of it. That's like old.
yeah, it's old. That's exactly it. That's exactly what it is.
So
That was
it was
that was
later
my
on that
modeling.
you went to Manhattan School of Music. Now you mentioned that you're already in New York.
Yeah.
That's when you got involved to New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players. Have you always been a fan of Gilbert and Sullivan?
I had no idea who Gilbert and Sullivan was. I knew nothing. Literally, I went out there and I thought, okay, they played at a place called Symphony Space on 93rd and Broadway.
Yeah.
But in my mind, coming from Montana, Broadway. So I thought, okay, if I make it on Broadway, I can,
Oh my
I'll
God.
make it anywhere. So that's what I was thinking. Let me try out, get on Broadway, and I'm going to be great. And literally, that was my thought process back in the day.
Well, you
And
know what? Talk about no, it's the same idea of when you said Broadway. When my mom first
Yeah.
came to America in in the late 80s, early 90s, she was in LA, and she was on the freeway, on the 10th freeway, on the Santa Monica freeway. And she was
Sure.
passing by the freeway and then saw this store. It says Broadway. Remember the Broadway stores?
Oh, sure. You betcha.
Those department stores. And then my mom said, "This is Broadway? Why is it so small?" Is this the same? Sorry, it's the same thing. Wait, is this Broadway? No, that's not the Broadway they were talking about, Mom.
That's right.
So this was according to the reviews. This was how you were first noticed as a singer. Yeah. But when you were first noticed singer, tell me, is Louise a high baritone part or a tenor part?
Yeah, I'd say high baritone. I'd say it was more of a high baritone. Yeah.
So were you still doing baritone stuff during that time?
No, I was doing kind of everything. I mean, I did it all. I sang, anything they could throw at me, but that was one of the ones I did. Gondoliers, I did Pirates of Penzance, the Mikado, and really obscure ones too. Oh gosh, the Trial by Jury, something like that. And I was in 7 different Gilbert and Sullivan shows over the course of about 7 years.
Yeah.
And we used to go on tour. It was great. I had a lot of fun. A lot of good friends still.
So do you think when you sang all these different roles in all these different Gilbert and Sullivan, later on, did it, osmosis or subconscious, did it kind of help later on how you sang? Knowing all of the registers without knowing?
You know what? I think so. Yeah, I honestly do. I think I attribute that kind of to, in a way, kind of my technique. It's so bizarre because I still, I try to keep my low still, warm up down low, warm up real high, and then kind of blend throughout,
Yeah.
And
because I think that a lot of musical, that's a cool thing about, healthy musical theater is they push you so much. That's why there's always this oh, is there a category? It's like, that's why it's like, are you a high baritone or a tenor? Or are you like a baritone with like high C's or B's? Or are you a tenor with really low B flats? You know what I mean? So
yeah. Oh, exactly.
So now going to your first major operatic role, this is professional, as we say, is in Smetana's The Two Widows and Chautauqua Opera. Tell us about that. I mean, you were in Chautauqua, and who were you with, by the way? I know for a fact because of the clip I've seen, you were with Joyce DiDonato. Who else
that's right.
in that year? I'm curious.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember?
Jeez. No.
And how come Joyce is the only one you remember? Well, because that's the one you sang with, She's the one.
I'm trying to think, but I did their show twice. I did it. There might have been Matt Burns, might have been in it with me. Do you know Matt Burns?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was. I did it in at Manhattan School of Music. And Jay Lessinger, he directed it, and so he took it up to Chautauqua then. And so that's how I even got in. And they just they kept me. It was with Georgia Jarman. She was the one that I did it with in Manhattan School. And then they used Joyce up at Chautauqua. And it was great.
Now we switch to, as so people know, Brandon is known for singing Don Jose, Zygmunt, Bacchus, Pinkerton, and many more, like Don Carlos. Is it Herman? Is that your character?
Yeah.
Herman in
that's great.
Dame. Oh my God! In Le Troyen. Oh my God! There's so many.
Yeah.
And Flight. The Passenger. By the way, The Passenger. I saw that one at Lyric when you guys did it.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
That was the second. It's the second opera that actually made me cry, like it was a movie. Because the first one was Dead Man Walking. When I saw that, I cried.
Oh yeah.
The second one was The Passenger, I think, because what I liked about The Passenger was every single the fact that they all sang in their own languages and we could hear
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
that was so.
Yeah.
And your character being. So tell me about that character. It's like, it's like he's not a bad guy.
No. He was like he's married to this. Used to be he didn't know he's a German, married to an old Russian, not Russian, an old Nazi guard, and or maybe she was a secretary. Maybe she was a secretary, whatever it was. I'm married to a Nazi, but I have no idea. But I'm a politician, aspiring politician.
Yeah.
And on the course of this cruise ship, we're both passengers, and she's having flashbacks because she thinks she sees somebody that should be dead, that she killed in concentration camps. And so throughout the course, she's acting more and more strange. And in the very end, I find out who she is, and I leave her. I don't forgive her, and say, sorry, I got to think about my career. Bye-bye, Felicia.
I know. And, but he's not a bad guy. He's just like being realistic.
That's right. Think about it today.
I just want to acknowledge, like, Josh Weaker says, hey, Roro. And Lexi says, Brandon, the best human in opera. Aw, isn't that sweet?
Lexi, you're too kind.
You're too kind. Now, talk about the, notable roles. I'm now going to show you a clip of one of his notable roles. Here you go. There you go. See, I'm really getting good at. Oh, Carl says, "Hey guys." So I'm really, really good at this, like editing stuff where it's not too long, it's not too short. You know what I mean? But so that's one of his definitely one of his signature roles. I know this. I think one of the reasons why I put this is these are the 4 that I've always seen you do. Like I've always hear about, like you're like a staple for these roles. It's cool because they're like all in a way different, Oh my God, Bacchus, short but sweet. Talk about 100 mile. That's 100 meter dash role.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually sitting behind me here on the piano. I'm supposed to have one coming up. We'll see what happens. But
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my friend Chip says too short. You'll hear more of him later. Okay, just to let you know. And then now, one of the things you mentioned was you've always wanted to work with Robert Carson, and you did with Dutch National Opera's Pagliacci. Now, I want to know, what is it about him that you were really looking forward to work with?
I'd seen a few of his shows. And actually, I was in one of his shows. I was in a Tosca of his, but he wasn't around. It was a remount, so he wasn't part of it anymore. I mean, I didn't get to actually work with him. But every show that I've seen of his, that I had done, it just had such depth to it, and everything taking from a slightly different angle. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, in America, I find there's a lot. I mean, I find a lot of what we do is traditional operas. Traditional staging of operas, and that's kind of what the
it's like routine.
The donors want to see. Yeah, and it's kind of routine. So his is really, it's not too far out there, but it makes you think. And so I really was looking forward to kind of having delving into his psyche. Yeah, it's really interesting, and really great guy. Yeah,
that's awesome. And how was that when you like you were interested, and then suddenly you work with him? How was the expectation? Is it like, oh my God, that was satisfying? That was
Oh, absolutely. He was actually more. It was better than I thought it was going to be. He's a theater guy, and he's really into acting, into what we're saying, and yet being very singer friendly. I found, and it was really really great. And that was the first time I had sung Pagliacci or Cagno, and so he had a lot of insight and kind of helped me explore some things, and I really liked it.
By the way, Lexi said Brandon's dick. Johnson is amazing. Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. Brandon's Dick Johnson is amazing.
Oh no!
Sorry, Lexi. It's dyslexia. Sorry, but yeah, you know what? There is a clip, guys. There is a clip out there on YouTube. YouTube it, because I can't show everything here. It's like you got to do your research too. There is a clip, a short clip of Brandon singing "Que la mi creda." I forgot. I didn't see what the production was, but YouTube it. Just YouTube his name. It'll say what is that? Oh my God. Oh no, dear God, Carolyn Jovanovich is gonna kill men.
Oh, please.
Men? Me? Oh my God, that was a mistake. Gonna kill me. There you go. So make sure you Google that. Now the next one is what do I have here? And then now we have is San Francisco Opera premiere of Carlisle Floyd's opera Susanna in 2014. Now, was that your first Sam or no?
No, the odd thing is I had just a little run of Sam's in the early, like, I think 2001, 2002. One was at Festival Opera, which is just north of San Francisco in Walnut Creek. And then one was down in Palm Beach Opera.
Yeah, Festival Opera is one that my past guest, Buffy Baggett, sang Carmen in.
I was in that with her.
Wait, you were Buffy's Carmen? I mean,
yeah,
you were Buffy's
Jose? Yeah.
Buffy was your Carmen. There you go. Oh my God. Shout out to Buffy.
That's right.
Well, that's cool because I showed when she was here with Earl Patriarcho. I was here. They were here. I showed an aria clip of her card aria in Act 3. So that was awesome. Now, so that was so you've done that, and that was with this Susanna was with Patricia Rissette, and also with my friend. By the way, one of my best friends, it's like in my top 3 best friends, is also a fellow character tenor who was in the same show as you were in Susanna, Jim Krishock.
Oh, you betcha. Oh, how funny.
We're like this. We're like, we're that close.
Isn't he over in Berlin now? Is he in Berlin, or was he?
I think he was fest in Deutsche Oper and Vienna, but right now he currently lives in London, and he's doing a lot of work in Europe right now. So he's got a lot of projects. Even with the pandemic, there's always some nice projects ahead. So I'm glad that you're
a great guy
doing something. Yes, great guy. Now we're gonna show a clip of from that from San Francisco's Susanna.
Okay.
Jaybird sitting on a hickory limb. He winked at me and I winked at him. I picked up a brickbat and hit him on the chin. Look at here, little boy, don't you do that again. Oh, jaybird sitting on a hickory limb. He winked at me and I winked at him. I picked up a brickbat and hit him on the chin.
Oh, isn't that oh, that's awesome.
The dancing was the best part. The dancing was the best part.
I love it. Oh my God. I bet you that's the first time you never have to go to dance class. You just dance like yourself, Brandon. Just, if you were by yourself, just got out of the shower, before you get dressed, be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go dance. And that's exactly how it is. Good
That's why
motivation.
they hired me. That's why they hired me right there. That dance.
That's
Then you need to
awesome.
hear me sing.
That's awesome.
You
Now,
know, I
we
had
go.
to
Now
look
we
up. I had to look up what a brick bat was. A brick bat is a little chunk of a brick that falls off like whenever they do masonry work. That I didn't
Oh,
know. Brick bat.
it is.
Now you know. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I always when I did Little Bat in Florentine Opera in Milwaukee, um,
Oh,
I think it was B- uh who was Bill? Not Bill. Sam.
oh,
Not Sam. Not Bill. No,
William.
no, not Bill
Bill.
Burton. It was someone. Oh, my fault. But every time I hear that, and I was like, "Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, dong." I'm really. That's pretty much what I hear every time. It's like,
That's it.
and you remember, Blitch. It's like, and it's the same thing every time Blitch sang, "I'm a Reverend Blitch." Dum, 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 dum. Really, it sounds like that to me. Yeah, I love it. So how was it playing? I was playing drunk.
Oh yeah. You know what? I like that. I like playing drunk. You know. I like that. You know, it's funny. Sometimes those it's not like the largest role in the world, but it's got a great aria. Actually, it's about the way people is made, I reckon,
Yes,
and how they like to
yes,
believe what's bad. When I did it
yep.
down in Palm Beach, it was right after 9/11. Uh, and
Oh my
right
God.
after that happened, and I remember sitting there singing it, and I'd get tears in my eyes just kind of thinking about, it's about just the way things are. It's how people just need to love more and love each other and a little bit more empathy in the world. And but I like playing drunk.
So, so I love how my questions always seg. This is the one that I didn't show you. Love how it segs to exactly what my next question is. What we just talked about. You're playing drunk. So and then you're actually it's not your usual leading role, right?
Exactly.
It's like
That's
you
right.
actually get to have fun more, which most character tenors always do. It's like be in a character, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
you've performed with a lot of them. Now, this is a question from me. Which character tenor role would you sing if
Oh
you had
my
a choice?
gosh.
You know what I mean? Now, I mean, we got anywhere from the most standard like Monostatos and Goro and Bardolfo and Trique
Yeah.
to like the heaviest, like the shabby peasant, or like or Mima in or Mima in Siegfried or Mima in Rheingold. Which do you think you would like? Oh my God, you want to push yourself. Which character tenor role would you do?
Okay. 1 second. If I wanted to push myself,
Yeah,
then that would. If I wanted to push myself, I'd say that'd probably be Mima. Mima,
yeah.
I think is a lot harder than people give it credit for. That's a tough little
You
thing.
know what my teacher told me. Because his name is Tim Massard. I don't know if you've heard of Tim
Oh
Massard,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, Tim Massard is my teacher, and he sung a lot, most Siegfrieds. And he told me that there have been Siegfrieds who later on retired and became Mimas.
Oh my gosh, well, hey, I can see it.
Yes,
I bet because it is. It's a
it's like
tough little
because
role.
it's like you know what I mean. Because it's like why not? It was like so. And it's not
That's
every
right.
time we get to, what you could, let's just say you can count, with all due respect, you can count the number of Siegfrieds as tall as you are, Brandon.
That's right.
The last Siegfried I sang with was in Taiwan, was a Wolfsteiner. Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. He's in Germany, but he's as tall as you are. And it
Oh
was
my
me saying,
gosh.
oh my God. So anyway, and what about just for fun? Like, push
For
yourself. But what about just like to enjoy? What character role?
okay, if I were to, what is it? Spoleto. Yeah, in
Wow,
Tosca.
really? In Tosca?
Yeah, yeah. But that's just like a quick little, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spoletta in
That would
Tosca.
be fun. But if I wanted to actually have fun, I think it would be kind of a hoot if I was Goro.
I know. We can switch. That would be awesome. I'd be doing this.
that would be awesome.
Oh, by the way, I've always, Brandon, next time we do Butterfly, One of the
Yep.
things I've always, oh wait, we had a comment right here. Oh, like amen to Brandon's side. Hallelujah. And this is coming from a short soprano.
Oh, right.
So one of the things one of the things I wanted to do during rehearsal, and we never do it, and I hope we do it. You know, when Sharpless comes in,
Yeah.
you know, when you say Bene arrivato, and then I sing Bene arrivato, woof. Press, it's like go away, Goro. One of the things I really want us to do is you sing Domo arigato, and then I have to sing Mr. Roboto. And one of these days during rehearsal, we have to Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. That's a goal. Nobody's ever
That
done it
would
in
be-
rehearsal.
That would be awesome. I'm down for it, man. I tell you what, next time that would.
And then surprise the conductor, be like, what? Because they always look up. So
That's right.
so the next one is, now here's a question about social media presence and Instagram and website. Now this is the real question. Do you do it or someone else does it for you?
Oh, good God. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Social media, I have to work at it. I am not good at this stuff. You know, I have to like think, okay, Brandon, take a picture and post something, you know, or say something. Although, yeah, I have to really kind of work hard at it. Although I must say it's been somewhat easier on Twitter because I'm kind of political. So but so that's like, I have to make myself post pictures and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you know, like it doesn't come natural. I have to like, oh, this is a sunset. You know what? This sunset would look good on my whatever.
So you do the Instagram. You post stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
Somebody manages your website.
Yeah. Somebody does my website, but
you're the one in charge
of do it myself. I've got to do it myself. Like, I've got to change and get a new one because hasn't been updated in like about a year, you know, since the dang COVID. And I think the gal that I used to have doing it has kind of moved on now. I think she's doing other things, and so I think I've got to kind of come up with one myself.
Yeah. So now, if you guys go to www.brandonjovanovich.com, the first thing you will see is this. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Now, this is by Plato. Now, is there a nice like reason or an inspiration for making this the first thing that people see in your website? What do you want the people to see to actually understand about you? Because this, you know, when you put something like this, it shows like, oh, what kind of person you are. So explain to us.
I think for me, the reason that's up there is kind of, I think that singing but music in general is kind of like the fabric of the universe. I mean, I really do. I think it's from dogs to, you know, to babies to old people, timers that remember their past with a certain melody.
Mm-hmm.
Just adds. It's just kind of, I really do think it's like the fabric of life, and I mean, it just enhances. Or it can enhance if you have bad music, you know, or like if it's like, you know, something you would hate, you have to listen to it. Okay, maybe that's not good. But
so it's like a fabric, it's a thread. It connects us to life, to the energy, to the things that we do in life. It's you know, that's it. That frequency is what actually keeps us alive and everything. So
I agree. Yeah, exactly. You know, and so I guess the first thing.
Wait.
Is literally you come see something and hopefully, you know, I don't know how many people would look at my website and say, oh, I'm inspired to go see opera. But hopefully, because it's true. It really is a connective tissue of I think probably a lot more than just our planet, you know. It's
so on a little break here, we're going to show some pictures of, you know, I'm going to switch places with Brandon so he can see it. We're going to show some pictures of, like, you know, just random pictures about you know, performing or whatnot. This, oh, look at that. That was Butterfly in 2012, I think, 13.
That's right.
In LA Opera. Eric was Sharpless, and that's Milena was Suzuki,
Suzuki.
and David Charles was a friend of mine that I brought to one of the dinners, and
I remember that.
He plays the grown-up Trouble in Madama Butterfly Part 2, The Revenge. I'm kidding. and then this one, people would want to see. First of all, let's look at. Okay, Brandon, I'm not gonna lie. These 3 pictures could be like your pictures if you were single and on Tinder. The first picture. What is this? Where is this from?
That was a great show. This is actually one of my favorite characters to play. That's Sergei in Lady Macbeth von Mtsensk. And it's a very dark comedy sort of, or more dark drama, but it's comedic. And I'm just a gigolo. I'm a playboy. And I'm a hired hand that seems to have his way with the women. And I love the character.
One? I love this. This is so Hollywood. Oh, look at me. I'm Siegmund in a suit.
That's crazy. That was for a photo shoot. And look at that. They gave me kind of like a toothpick of a sword, so it's kind of like a tiny little sword.
This is like, you're like a hobbit. Oh, this is a hobbit's sword. It's like Siegfried is not Siegmund is not a hobbit. He's half god, for crying out loud.
That's right. But that was just a photo shoot that they had me do for Opera News.
And then what about this one?
That's Bacchus. That's Bacchus in which one was that? That might be from. Yeah, that one looked pretty. That was a pretty good,
costume. That's a good costume for Bacchus, because most of the time Bacchus is like shrouded. You're like, draped.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Oh my God!
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, now this one, and this one, Blast from the Past.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Which shows? Oh, this is Pinafore. Okay.
Pinafore. Yeah, this was my very first show with Gilbert and Sullivan, and this is how they got to know me. And I still know quite a few of those guys in there. It's pretty crazy. That was a great show. She was Ursula. She was the voice of Ursula in
really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
that's Pat Carroll's her name. Yeah, she's great.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the lady you're looking in the very middle is the voice of Ursula in the animated not Aladdin.
Mermaid, Little Mermaid.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna bring this up because Zach has just said, look, I was gonna make a sword. That's funny. Sword joke, but not.
That's
anyway, just wanna acknowledge that. And then this one. Okay, so now we get to like this one.
Oh yeah. That was in Nantes, France. That's Jacob, my oldest guy now. He's 19, and I still carry him like that sometimes. I know I don't want to get into it, but no. And that was Il Tabaro.
Yeah, Il Tabaro. And there's everyone. So the one that you were holding is the one on the very right? The one wearing black.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yep, Before, after. Oh,
after.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And my daughter there, she's turning 18 tomorrow. So
that's awesome. Well, happy birthday to her. Now, where am I now? So just a quick thing before it's like we're almost done. I just want to know the pandemic onslaught. So everyone's pretty much everyone's contract. If you're in the US and Europe, it was canceled, but Europe came back a little. Now, did you have during the most of 2020? Because that's what I've talked to singers. They said that a lot of their contracts are in the US, they are canceled. And they even said it's a bummer because some of the contracts that they declined, that they were in Europe, because they had a contract here. And now they're like, one of those like, oh, shoot, if I only did not cancel, like if I only said yes to Europe and not here, then I would be working there at a specific time. Was there was there some kind of something like that's happening to you right now, or how are you dealing with it right now in terms of the pros and cons of this pandemic in your situation with the family?
So yeah, exactly. I mean, that the big thing about me is I work a majority of my work is overseas. So I would say, and that's kind of by design, just because I needed to kind of make a name for myself over there. And so before the pandemic, I had I worked in Europe for about 22 out of 24 months straight. Like, I'd have maybe a couple days here, I'd fly home, or I would try to fly them over, or something like that. I mean, it was really a lot of work in Europe. And so then I came back to the States, and I worked I had a huge, all of 2020 was, for the most part, by and large, I'd say, 90% of it was going to be in the States. And I
Oh.
was able to do two things in Chicago, and that was great. I did the Peak Dom, and that was in
And
January
and
and
the two
February.
performances of Butterfly, which
Two
we
performance
did.
of Butterfly, and then I was in rehearsals for Valkyrie. I
The
was going to
Ring.
do
Yeah.
Valkyrie in Das Rheingold, and they got canceled. So that kind of stunk. And then I had things at the Met, and I had things,
Yeah, I know.
in DC, but everything kind of got canceled. But I was very lucky. I had a brand new production of a Valkyrie in Berlin, Deutsche Oper Berlin, and that was this fall. And they wanted to. It's been so planned for so long, and so they did it. And like every day before rehearsal, there was a little tube I'd have to spit into, and they would take it and do a COVID test, and some donor paid for it all. And it was kind of like a
Wow. I mean,
template for how other theaters
that's
could do
support
it.
for the arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That is support for
that's
the
it.
arts.
Oh, that's it. I mean, it was really, I was so thankful. And then I was supposed to go back over again. They added a couple performances. I was supposed to go back over, but that's when they shut down. That was in the middle of, so that was the first show was in September, October. Then I was supposed to go back over in November, and they shut everything down. And I lost, yeah, just little, everything has kind of been put on hiatus. I'm supposed to be doing right now Samson in Samson Delilah at the Lyric, but
Oh,
that was
right.
canceled.
Yeah.
It popped
Yeah.
up on my phone on Monday.
So what about what
Start
about your
Samson.
family? So how's your family like, reacting to, because they're so used to always traveling, and then you go,
Yeah,
they fly, they fly to you, or you fly to them. But right now, because this is the most
yeah,
interaction you've had with them without the traveling. So how are
absolutely.
they responding to it?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so normal. I mean, at first it takes a little get, my wife has a different style of parenting than I do. It's slightly. But we just kind of get back into the rhythm of things. But it's been so normal, to wake up in the morning, go down, have some coffee, talk to the kids a little bit, and it's been so fantastically nice. I mean, I can't say enough how I wish there was more of a where I could work at the Lyric full time, and just kind of rotate me through a few roles, like in Europe they do this, and
Yeah, that's true.
you're on
That's true.
contract,
Well, that's cool. Well,
and
you know what?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad that you've at least people know that there are negative things that happen, but then there's also positive things that come
that's right.
out of that one, that you just have to look into that to get through. You can get through those negative as long as you look at those positive things. That is critical to who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is
I agree
for you,
100%.
your family. Your kids, your wife, and your
Yeah,
kids. Awesome.
that's right.
Wait. Oh, you've been doing so much on the farm.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work. I build and I do stuff. So like I put in a new master bathroom uh, during COVID. I thought I was gonna be able to get it done with all the shows. No way. It took me so much longer. We painted our whole house. I put on a new back deck, like a huge back deck. You're gonna have to come over sometime and check it out, honestly.
I
And
know.
Lexi was over
I'll take
here
your word
like a
for it.
few years
Stephen
ago
and I
for,
are gonna go. Can we
yeah,
really?
hey, yeah, it would be fantastic.
Awesome. 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 Yeah, we'll take it, because you know what? We need some outside, outside air. So now,
That's it.
before we go to our wow moment,
Okay.
this is what I call RAM, random access memory on Roro after midnight. This always happens before the last part of the show. I'm gonna give you a few choices, and you're gonna tell us which one you prefer. The first
Okay.
one is about singing. Would you rather sing an A sharp or a B flat? You know, Okay, singers know this. We know
Yeah.
this. It's a mental thing. Would you rather sing an A sharp or a B flat?
A sharp.
Oh, look at you! Oh, you're on the higher side.
That's it.
People need to know. Look it up. It's like debate it. A sharp is higher than B flat. Just guys, look it up. Frequency wise, it is higher than B flat. This is from I've heard this from professors. So look it up. Do a dissertation if you want. The next one is tux or suit.
Oh, boys. I'm getting suit.
Okay, suit.
Yeah.
What about this? Clean shaven or beard? And by beard, I mean we're talking about like trim beard. Which one do you want?
I do beard. I like the beard.
This is why we see you clean shaven, because you prefer beard.
That's it's too gray now. It's too gray.
Now we're gonna go with icing or ganache.
Oh my gosh. Ganache.
Ganache.
Do a little ganache.
You like them rich. Yeah. Not fluffy or like light. You want them rich. And then this is the last one. This is just something to look forward to. Would you prefer spring or fall?
Oh my gosh, I love the fall. I just love the fall. I love the colors. I love the smells. I love the changing of the crispness in the air. I love fall.
Isn't it interesting? Because in spring, that's where things bloom. In fall, that's when leaves turn. But then the reason why they turn is because they wilt.
That's right.
But this is. I think this is what we were talking about earlier. Fall is, it's the opposite of what we're experiencing right now, where if we think of fall as like, oh, actually things die on the fall, like the leaves die. That's why they turn like that. But the beauty that the leaves bring is what makes fall such a great season. And that's why we in times of these pandemic, that's one of the things we have to think about, like, okay, this is a bad thing that's happening, but what can we see something beautiful from it? Just like how fall was, that kind of thing. So anyway, so that was, thank you for playing Ram on Ram. Now I'm gonna leave Brandon by himself without me on the side for our wow moment, words of wisdom. It can be any topic you like, Brandon, any words of wisdom you want to partake to our audience. But before you say that, thank you very much for being my guest today. It's like, I'm so glad that you're able to come and, to share your time. And I'm glad that you're in the same, time zone. Because you could have been supposed to be like already 2 a.m. now. But thank you. And I'll see you backstage after your words of wisdom. Okay.
Okay. Sounds
Here's
good.
Brandon.
Thanks,
thank you.
Boy, words of wisdom. If I think this time, and I mean this, it's funny because with everything that's kind of going on nowadays, especially yesterday, I think it's easy to forget that we're all in this life together, no matter on a micro or macro level. And one of the things, and I do mean this, one of the things that I always try to do, I was a waiter for many, many years. And I think it tells so much how somebody in a position of power, and usually I consider that to be like when I was waiting, somebody I'm waiting on, treats a servant or somebody who's waiting on, they're waiting on it. How you treat somebody perceived to be lower than you. And I always try to treat everyone with such respect. I really do. And I think it's so important nowadays, more than ever. But You've got nothing to lose. There is no downside to be. There's not one downside to it. It only builds you up, builds them up. It makes everything and life around you a wonderful place to be. And those are my words of wisdom. Always try to be nice, be people to respect.
Thank you, Brandon. I'll see you backstage. And now it's back to me. Thank you again for watching another episode of Roro After Midnight Ram. Again, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Roro the Tenor, and you can subscribe to Filipino Tenor. And still waiting for those 50 cents. Come on, guys, 50 cents. And now, since we're talking about the ring, I'd like to end the show by singing an excerpt from the most famous excerpt in the Ring Cycle. You guys ready? Hiya to ho, hiya to ho, hiya ho, hiya. Oh, I can't wait. There you go.